Hey family, I want to tell you about a new book written by John Almo and Patty Almo. It's called Introduction to Twi for American Diasporas. Now, the book is going to focus on helping you learn the Akan language, culture, and Ghana as a country. It's also a guide through Ghana's most widely spoken language. Now, the book is supposed to help develop your awareness of social customs, cultural practices by combining historical, cultural, and social context with language training and grammar. This is the book that you want to pick up before you start heading for your first trip to Ghana. Pick up Introduction to Twi for American Diasporas today. So there was a recent discovery, and they have a lot of people very, very upset that they found out that the bones from children from the bombing that was in Philadelphia back in 1985 on the MOVE group back then were being used for anthropology without the family knowing at all. They've been having these bones for over 30 years, and they were passing it between the University of Pennsylvania and Princeton University. They're keeping the bones of black people just as much as in history they have kept skulls, private parts. I mean, only, like I said, the level of depravity, you understand? But before we get into the anger of the people and family members that found this out, we want to roll a clip and show you just a little history on what happened with that situation in Philadelphia. I want you to pay attention. I'm going to let you know. I want you to pay attention to the politician at the time. And I want you to know or found out what political party was this particular politician was affiliated with at that time period. But let's go ahead and roll that first clip.
What is it, a crime to be black in this country? I mean, is it a penalty? Is this the penalty for being black in this country? I mean, is Mayor Good, does he forget that he was once a black person too? Did he forget what the struggle about freedom is all about? I don't know where he lost his roots, but I tell you one thing, he better go back and get them.
We call it institutionalized racism. And that's exactly what it was. Because we were black and because the institution has a way of handling black people, you understand, through the system, you understand, it didn't matter whether Wilson Good was black or whether Wilson Good was white. It's the institution. It's the governmental institution. This is the way we handle black people.
To sacrifice us to cover up their mess was not fair. I didn't do anything to these people. I didn't do anything. All I wanted was help. And just to strip me of my happiness was not right, was not fair. Where is the justice? Where?
As the mayor of the city, I accept full and total responsibility for decisions made to in fact go in and to evacuate the Osage Avenue house. I stand behind those persons who made those decisions. I support my commissioners, I support my managing director, and I want the people of the city to judge me by that decision.
Gross negligence.
We have to remember that this nation fought wars to prevent bombs from being dropped on its people in this country. And we sit by and allow a little city government to borrow a helicopter and concoct a bomb with high military explosives, C4, and drop it on our people? What kind of people are we? That's the issue.
What we do, we go to court and we start sounding the judge. Judge would come in, the court bailiff would say, all rise. And the first thing everybody sees is us sitting there.
Delbert Africa, a former Black Panther, joined MOVE in 1972.
Understand, MOVE went to court with a confrontation unit. This is what we called it. Because not everybody went to court or got arrested, okay? We went to court with a confrontation unit of at most 15 people, all right? Those 15 people had a total of over 800 and something cases. Well over millions of dollars of bail. And it didn't take no whole lot of us. Like I say, it wasn't but 15. Can you imagine that example? If everybody went to court and said, I don't care what you do, give me contempt. So what?
I have just as much right, and my brother got just as much right to speak as you. So what you doing arrogantly gaveling us down?
Delbert practiced his courtroom tactics in MOVE mock trials.
Understand this, our freedom is in jeopardy, and we will do anything to protect that freedom. You cannot put any restrictions on our freedom.
Mr. Africa, this is not a forum for your political views.
What is it?
Do you understand that?
Do you understand that I was brought here because of my beliefs, because of my views? So obviously this is a forum for it.
I object. I think the witness at this point is badgering the judge.
In March 1976, one incident triggered a rapid escalation of hostility between MOVE and the city. MOVE claims the police killed one of their babies. Delbert and Jerry Ford Africa were there.
This baby was murdered. It had, been beat on the head with the sticks when the cop was trying to beat Janine down. All right, and to have that happen, I think it resolved MOVE members to the point where it said we ain't backing up.
We felt at that particular point that our organization had to make a statement to the city, to the world, that we were no longer going to tolerate the abuse and the killing of our membership.
We contacted city officials, state officials, everybody, look what you've done.
The police believed there were at least 6 adults and as many as 12 children in the house. When MOVE refused to surrender, the police opened up with tear gas, smoke, and water cannons. The gunfire lasted for 90 minutes. MOVE wasn't surrendering. The mayor was not on the scene. He relied on TV news and telephone reports from his second-in-command, City Managing Director Leo Brooks. At 5 in the afternoon, a new plan was conceived.
I told the mayor that it was going to be difficult to secure that area during the night, that the neighbors were clamoring to return to their homes, and that the commissioner wanted to drop a device on the roof to destroy the bunker and penetrate the roof.
After he said to me he was going to blow the bunker off, I paused, I guess, for 30 seconds to absorb what he was saying to me. And the next word I said to him was, does Mr. Sambor know about this? He says, yes, it was his idea.
This, in my estimation, was the best way to go.
Did the managing director concur in your decision to use the helicopter to drop the explosive?
Yes, sir.
Did he then call the mayor?
He did.
Did you tell the mayor that it was going to be dropped from a helicopter?
I did.
And you recall yesterday that he testified that his recollection differed?
Yes.
Are you positive you told him that it was going to be dropped from a helicopter?
I'm positive.
Director Brooks' understanding of that conversation differs from mine somewhat, in that he recalls having said to me that they were going to use a helicopter to do this. That is not my recollection.
At 5:27 p.m., without warning move, a bomb containing powerful military explosives was dropped. Expecting Move to flee, police stakeout teams took up positions in the alley behind the house.
T. O'Brien from Channel 3 came in. She said, "Lucian, what's going on?" I said, "Well, we've got an impasse." "Nothing." She said, "Oh, no, Lucian, we just heard an explosion out there." We turned on this television here, and we saw the helicopter circling. We saw the fellow drop the bomb, and boom! I stood there and watched, and at first, while I was concerned, I felt that they had this thing under control, and they figured, well, maybe they're trying to smoke them out. They figured if enough smoke filled up the house that they would run out in the street and they would probably capture them. Then after a while, we saw the fire. We went down, we saw the mayor, and he was coming out of his office, and I said, "Hey, he said, everything's under control." He said, "We have it under control. Don't worry about it. Everything's all right."
There was still no sign that Move would leave the house. The police and fire commissioners now agreed to use the fire as a tactical weapon.
Commissioner Sambor said to me something to the effect, "Can we control that fire?" And my response, and I'm a cautious person by nature, I said, "I think we can." He said, "Let's let the bunker burn."
I did tell him, in essence, in communication, I communicated to him that I would like to let the fire burn. I mean, the bunker burn.
Why didn't you get Mr. Brooks on the phone and say, "Put out the fire"?
I did.
When?
At 6 o'clock.
How about at 6:30 and 7 and 7:30 and 8 and 8:30 as we all watched the television?
We talked about that, and we kept calling back and saying, "What's going on? Why can't you put the fire out?"
An hour after the fire started, the bunker fell into the second floor. According to one of the survivors, a child named Birdie Africa, Move women and children were huddled under wet blankets in a basement garage while a police video crew took these pictures.
They won't call it. Police commissioner,
Time 18:30 hours, 6063.
Over the next hour, the fire moved down through the house and began to spread to adjacent homes. It wasn't until 90 minutes after the fire started that Move members tried to escape. At that time, witnesses heard gunshots coming from the back alley. Soon after the escape, houses rapidly caught fire across Osage Avenue and behind the alley. A total of 61 homes burned down before the fire was declared under control at 1:45 midnight. Also, witnesses heard automatic weapons fired at the time of the escape, gunfire that could only have come from the police. In the ruins of the Move house, police search teams found only the remains of 2 pistols, a .22 caliber rifle, and a shotgun. Move had no automatic weapons. At a time when the fire was still easily controllable. Then the mayor testified seeing on live television water immediately turned on the fire. But according to fire department logs and TV videotapes, water was not turned onto the MOVE house until 6:30. That places the mayor's order a critical half-hour later than he claims. By then, the fire was raging out of control. And despite the mayor's initial order, the water was soon turned off. Firemen, deferring to the police, did not fight the fire in any conventional way until after 9:30. Had the mayor's order been given and followed at 6, 11 lives and 61 homes might have been saved.
Time. We pleaded, we begged to come in and solve a difficult problem that is getting worse and worse and worse. Way before you made the decision to drop a damn bomb on my house. You ruined my life, and here I am sitting, can't go back to my house behind the bullshit these people down here trying to put. They didn't come in here with no sensitivity to anybody. They didn't care. They sent people over there to try to clean up a mess that they made over there. And we're just supposed to take anything from these people. This is what they expect us to do.
They don't care about us. They say, well, let them suffer, let them rot. It's not for a day or a week, but for years and years. And we go down and approach the mayor about some solution. And what he says, well, we're working on it. We don't know exactly what to do. Wait. And then he take all the time to try to make a decision. And what does he do? Comes in and says, okay, attack the house, fire 10,000 rounds of ammunition, talking about he's interested in protecting the kids. What kind of protection of kids when you fire 10,000 rounds of ammunition in there?
And when they let the bunker, they decided physically, to let the bunker burn. They knew they was going to burn down the whole neighborhood. Who gave them people that power?
And if they let them get away with it this time, guess what? They'll have another neighborhood burnt down, another black neighborhood burnt down. And that's what these people better understand out here that are listening to us tonight.
I'm bitter. I'm very, very bitter. And I make no bones about it. And I don't care where chips fall, because I know one thing. If it would ever happen in a white neighborhood, they would have snuffed it out right in the beginning.
So yes, they had a black mayor at that time period. And a black mayor was okay with this happening. A black mayor. Let me tell y'all something. These black politicians have been selling us out forever. You understand? And guess what political party he was affiliated with? Guess which one? Let me give you a hint. The party that y'all got your booty to the pole and soul to the pole and strut to the pole. That party. Yes. You notice that keep happening? That black folks get bombed. You saw what the police was doing at that time period. Nothing has changed. These people have not changed. You heard those brothers and sisters how they was talking. They sound no different than how we talk today. That's why I wanted to make sure you heard the people talk. Those people have burned up 60 homes. 60 homes. And then when these other groups come in this country and say, yeah, I come here in 5 years, I get above black people. How do I do that? You've been here hundreds of years. Show me when any kind of government entity drops a bomb on your community. And it's not the first time. We know about Black Wall Street in Tulsa too. They notice they say they use C4. Now, do you remember what happened in Dallas with Michael Johnson when they caught him? And in that garage, what did they use? They used a robot to go at Michael Johnson with C4. They love using C4 on black people. Have you noticed that? We're just talking about the news and history here. No other group in this country has dealt with what we have dealt with. None. And then when you see things like this, what happened back in 1985 with old sellout black politician that was with the Democrat Party, and all of them working together against black people, displacing black people. Then you watch Jim Crow Joe, after 1 year of what happened with the Asian community, they get $50 million and a whole bill. But black folks don't get nothing. My brothers and sisters in Philadelphia, last time I went there, I loved it. I met a few brothers and sisters there in Philadelphia. Max's Cheese Steak. That's one of the best places I've ever eaten in my life when it comes to at least cheesesteaks. You ain't making a cheesesteak unless you go to Max's. Those of you from Philly, you know what I'm talking about. Now, I hope they're still in business. You know, I don't know what the pandemic and what's going on over there, but wow, that place is good. No, I don't eat meat, and I don't really fool with chicken like that either. But you know what? If I go back to Philly, I may have to get a chicken one, you know, just that one time, because that place was good. But now that you've seen all this, and it's very, very upsetting what happened to our brothers and sisters at that time period. Now let's watch the clip of when the family and everyone found out about these universities having the bones of children that got firebombed to death back in that time period in 1985. Let's go ahead and roll that clip.
Black humanity. That's right. They have no respect for us, living or dead.
Members of the Africa family spoke to the crowd at 33rd and Spruce tonight, days after learning the remains of two young women believed to be MOVE bombing victims, Tree and Delisha, were being used for research at Penn and Princeton universities. Skyforce 10 was over another protest at Princeton, where the bones were brought over from a Penn Museum staff member.
Everything that MOVE was accused of being dirty, rotten, ugly, whatever, is exactly what these people are.
Mike Africa Jr. said what the researchers did was immoral. The city medical examiner's office gave the bones to Penn in 1985 with the hope of identifying them. Penn said it was not able to, but the bones were still used in anthropology classes and remain at the museum, according to Penn.
Get them back so they can be buried properly.
Lionel Dotson is a relative of the MOVE victims who told me what he wants from the city and Penn.
A public apology is a starting point. We can begin to heal, but it's never going to give you that 100% satisfaction because they're no longer here and they can't speak for themselves. So I'm doing this on behalf of my big older sisters, both of them.
The city has apologized, but the anger was still felt as far as voices could carry.
So we are here today, right now, to say that we want these to be held accountable for what they did to our family.
The protesters then marched to the office of Penn's president. The Penn Museum told NBC 10 that reuniting the remains with MOVE family members is our goal. Williams director Chris Woods has personally reached out to the Africa family, and their ongoing conversations will help us understand the family's wishes as we work towards a respectful resolution.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, the sick depravity of the white supremacist and his system is constantly now, as I stated before, is being uncovered to the world. The greatest thing that the devil wants is for people not to know he exists and that he can move in the shadows. And let me tell you something, there's nothing godly what these people have been doing. Killing black people like that, burning up innocent people's homes, displacing black people, destroying a whole black community. Kill, steal, destroy. With the classic, with the Lord say is the devil. Kill, steal, and destroy. That has been the relationship with the black man and woman and this Mzungu in this country. Kill, steal, destroy. That's been our whole journey. But then you got Kamala Harris talking about America is not a racist country. Yeah. Show me the other groups of people. I know they got some Native American people bones too. I know they kept theirs. That's sick too. That's very sick. But show me other groups of people that's doing this in this country. We talking about this country. Show me. We don't have no museums as black people and got bones of white people that we holding as trophies and talking we gonna study it. We don't do no crap like that. I mean, this whole story is just like saying, listen, those are not the only schools now. They got other ones. They got black people body parts too. You just haven't found out about it. It just have not been uncovered. And the family has every right to be upset. They have every right to recover those bones and bury them and have a proper funeral and remember them. But y'all need to give those bones back to the family. Y'all need to actually pay that family too. Y'all need to pay them. They need to sue them. Because you had their family members' bones without no knowledge. You've been having it all those years. Never said nothing. They supposedly gave it to you to identify, but you kept it. What were you doing with those bones? Well, you're extracting cells and all kind of other things from those bones to try to make medicines. And because, you know, they try to take black people's body parts to foreign pharmaceutical drugs too now. Yeah, I can go down that rabbit hole, but I'm not going to do that in this video. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this particular story. I mean, the 666. I mean, every time I look up, you know, when I think that one thing is just bad and it can't get any worse, and then when I log on, it gets worse. But you know what? It is good, this being exposed. And this is why I tell you, brothers and sisters in the continent of Africa, stop letting all these people in your countries. Listen, pay attention to what's going on. Stop. You know, let your brothers and sisters connect with you, but all these other people coming in your countries constantly don't mean you no good. Look at the stories that's going on here. We know who they are. That's why we warn you. Don't let their agenda in. Don't let them in. Don't let them take your land, take this, take that. Don't teach them your customs. Don't teach them your medicine. Don't teach them nothing. They don't deserve it. Look at what they've been doing to us for hundreds and hundreds of years. Look what they've been doing to you for hundreds of years too. This stuff gets sick about a day, but you know what? You know, much as it gets on my nerves and angers me, you know, I got to continue to do the Lord's work and have his grace to keep putting out, you know, these, you know, stories and letting people know what's going on, because part of the Lord's work is uncovering evil. Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out the African Diaspora News Channel app in the Google Play and Apple App Store.